Alright, hey, this is Mega here, and this is the after action review for April 5th, 2023, Wednesday night drags. Okay, so this is the opening race for the 2023 season. and they raised the price to $40. I know, man, it went from 30 to 35 to 40 now, man, so I don't know. I just won't go out as often, alright? But yeah, I really was itching to take this thing out on the track. It's got the KO motor, the KO factory spec motor and controller, and yeah. So today, I'll just to sum it up. I had the bike was running great, and then it wasn't running great. So okay, and I'll go over it, and we'll go over the results for the racing. Okay. So the weather was it was cool, all right. It's still kind of we're in spring, but like the beginning of spring, all right. The winter just finished, and it's just been piss and rain every week. Every week, it's been piss and rain. So I think the last two races got canceled because of the rain and stuff. So, but today we got to go racing, and we got to race the quarter mile. So that's good. But it was pretty cool. I would say it was been 60 degrees Fahrenheit when we got there, and the weather was beautiful until about like 6 o'clock. Since when the sun started coming down, it got cold really fast. It dropped from like the 60s to the 50s, and then by the time I left, it was like in like 47 degrees. Okay, so yeah, it was cold. All right, and so a lot of people were having problems with that too. Okay, so yeah, I mentioned about the setup I had on the bike in the video, so I'm not going to go over it too much. But it's the stuff that's changed on the bike since last time: KO factory spec controller, KO factory spec motor, and yeah, that's pretty much it. I've gotten the rear end redone. All right, there's a couple cracks on the swing arm that I fixed. And I changed the jack shaft. I got hit in the last race I raced this in. Somebody hit me, and then my rear swing arm got bent and stuff. The swing arm axle got bent, and I had to replace it, and I had to replace the bearings in it and everything. So yeah, nuts. So it's just, you know, I've just got it back running again, right? And it sounds awful still, man. I don't know what the deal. I think I need a new jack shaft. I tried to replace the bearings, but still pretty nasty sounding. Okay, so first run, all right. So I'm just trying to see what this bike can do. All right, I have it set to the drag profile. All right, the drag profile is about 21 kilowatts. All right, that's a lot of power. Okay, that's like the maximum power I think you could pull out of this. All right, and we're running 300 DC line current and 830 phase amps. All right, I have it jacked up all the way pretty much. You can go 400 phase you could go 400 DC line amps, but I might fry this battery. I'm afraid I'm going to break the battery, so I know. Really, the limiting factor now is the battery. All right, before the battery wasn't. So I think I got to turn the power down a little bit, unfortunately. But anyway, so the first run rolls up. All right, and the first run was at 436. All right, I was racing against a Aprilia RSV4, and I was on the left side. And so, like I said, we're running the full power, 300 amps, and yeah. So I'm still trying to kind of get a feel for the bike. And so we run a reaction time of .262, a 60 foot of 2.379, a 330 foot of 6.117, a 1/8 mile of 9.557. At 68.79 miles per hour. Our 1,000 foot was 12.811. Our ET was 15.813 at 72.3 miles per hour, right? And that RSV4 got like a 10, all right? It blew our doors off, right? But not by that much. By 5 seconds. I mean, it's a lot, but he beat us by 4.9 seconds. Like I said, we're not racing. It's just practice, anyways. Okay, and so. There was like no wind, all right. Maybe there was a slight tailwind, you know, and it was nice and warm still. And I think all of that contributed to us getting this 15.8 pass, because it was the fastest pass of the day. Literally, that is the fastest pass I've ever done on this Sauron Light B, okay? The last fast pass that I did was like a 16.4. So my 16-second Sauron became a 15-second Sauron. Woohoo! All right, so I'm already happy. I'm like, man, I can go home happy already, you know. I could feel when I roll on the throttle. Oh yeah, I also have a new throttle. I have a Domino throttle. It's a lot smoother than thing, and the way Ian from KO Moto helped me set the throttle up on this bike, so it's really kind of like a soft takeoff. So if you get on it a lot, just kind of like it kind of feels like there's a little lag, all right? But you feel it. It kind of goes up a little bit. The wheel goes up a little bit, and then it goes down right away, and then it starts accelerating, and then boom, it accelerates really, really hard, all right? So it's like a really soft takeout, but once it gets up to speed, it takes off a lot, all right? I hope that's not going to bite me in the ass when we go dirt biking, though, okay? Because we need like that torque like right away, you know? But the throttle's really nice. It's really smooth. I had it set to 2% of the dead band, all right? So like pretty much once you twist the throttle, it'll go right away. So I like that. I don't like having to twist the throttle and kind of find where the bike is going to move, and then I wait for the light to change, and then I give it throttle. Pretty much all I have to do is just twist the throttle and go. It makes it super, super easy, okay? So I don't have to like kind of play around with that deadband area anymore if I set it down. I even tried 1% towards the end of the day, and I think I like it better, all right? But maybe that could be contributing to why I was having problems later in the day, all right? But we'll talk about that when we get there. Anyway, 15.8, fastest pass I've ever done on this Sauron, okay? I don't know what other Saurons have. I know some people are saying they hit like 90 miles an hour on a Sauron. I don't know, man. I can't hit 90. We hit 72 miles an hour. Yeah, that is the fastest quarter mile I've ever done on this bike, all right? That first pass. I got really lucky. There is no headwind, okay? Okay, so second practice comes along, all right? And I'm with Eric Oliver, all right? Yeah, he's back. He's riding a CBR now. And so we go line up, and yeah, we're like I hope, yeah, so there was like some kind of a car caught on fire at the end of the track, and they had to go tow it out. And then so they kind of screwed us, the guys in line. They forgot who was doing the 4/10 tree and who was doing the 5/10 tree. All right, the 4/10 tree is the pro tree. That's the one where it turns yellow then green, all right? But I like the pro tree, okay? So me and Eric are waiting for the pro tree to come up, right? We're waiting for it to turn yellow so we can go, and we immediately red light, okay? You know what's interesting though? Our reaction time, exactly the same. We literally took off at the same time. Minus, okay? Minus because we red lit, all right? We took off before the green light came on. Minus .499, and he got up to minus .499. So half a second. We took off half a second before the light turned green, all right? At the exact same time. It's pretty nuts, right? Okay, so for this run, yes. Okay, I'm gonna kind of tell you how the last run went. When we were getting to full speed, I could feel the bike kind of like speeding up and slowing down. Like it wanted to go faster, but it couldn't, all right? And I kind of feel it's the battery that's limiting it, all right? The battery can't provide enough juice to the controller and the motor, so it's just doing that, like, you know, it can't, you know, we're maxed out the battery, I think, okay? But anyway, we got a 60 foot of 2.459, a 330 foot of 6.423, a 1/8 mile at 10.033 at 65.60 miles an hour. Our 1,000 foot was 13.4242. Sorry. Our ET was 16.552 at 70.59 miles an hour. All right. So I was kind of bummed out that my reaction time got, you know, I didn't get a good reaction time last time. I got a .262. That's not, it's okay reaction time, but it's not the stuff you want to be winning with. That type of, okay. So I didn't. The reaction time didn't really come into play in that, but even if you mess up the light, you'll still get a legit time, because once you cross the beam, that's when it starts counting. Okay, so Anyway, so yeah, our ET was 16.552, and we had 70.59 miles an hour. So we were about 2 miles per hour slower, and we were, man, like seven tenths of a second slower. Okay, big difference. And so for the second run, I had turned the power down to 280 amps, all right? Because I thought, like, yeah, you know, the bike is doing this thing where it's speeding up and kind of feels like it's slowing down. It's trying to speed up again. It's something's holding it back. So I wanted to keep on lowering the power until I could feel that, like, yeah, it feels reliable. Like it wants to just, like, it's a smooth kind of acceleration type of thing. Okay. But yeah, apparently it made us slower, all right? That 20 less amps made us slower by 0.7 seconds. Wow. And it was also still kind of like a tailwind too, like a little bit of a crosswind. So yeah, I can't believe that made that much of a difference type of thing, all right? It could be because maybe the battery wasn't fully charged. I did plug the battery into the charger after that for a little bit. I tried to keep it up past 90% or like 82 volts all the time. Okay, so the third run comes up, all right, third practice, and I'm on the right side this time. Who was I racing against, man? I got 11 seconds. 11-second bike. It's pretty fast. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think I lined up next to Eric again. Yeah, so I lined up next to Eric again. All right, and so we're gonna race again. And I'm on the right lane this time because he wants the left lane. I'm like, all right, whatever, man. I'm just going to get on the right lane. So I run. Okay, so yeah, I turned the power back up to 300 to see if we can make it fast again, all right? But it only just went a little bit faster because we got headwind now. Like, oh, man. So yeah, the Sonoma likes to play these games on you, you know? In the beginning, there's no wind, and then towards the night, the wind picks up, all right? The wind picks up, and the wind affects this bike a lot. A lot, right? Is not good, all right, because we're bracket drag racing. We got to be consistent, right? Anyway, we got a reaction time of .098. Really good reaction time, all right? Very good, all right? That is my best reaction time of the night, by the way, guys, okay? That's almost perfect, all right? 60 foot was a 2.420, 330 foot was 6.201, 1/8 mile was 9.749 at 65.8 miles an hour, and our 1,000 foot was 13.181. All right, our ET was 16.344 at 69.27 miles an hour. So, like, you know, actually our miles per hour went down, but our time got better. So yeah, I have to kind of look at see what's going on there, but yeah, it not good. Yeah, so we were a little bit faster than last time, but there's a headwind this time. So yeah, the bike is not running very consistent. First it's really fast, then it's kind of slow, and then now it just went a little bit faster because of the headwind. So we're not in a good place, guys. We're not dialed in, is what I want to say. Okay. Yeah, I treat Eric, by the way. Guys, I destroyed him on the light. Like, I literally did 3 times as good as him, by the way. Good job. Okay, so the first race comes along, and so they have us line up. They have us racing people random, all right? They put you up against somebody kind of random. I forgot. There's something with the reaction time that they pick who races who. So the first guy I race is Williams. His last name was Williams. I think it's Jonathan. All right, he said his name was Jonathan. He's racing at Kawasaki H2SX, okay? Supercharged sport touring bike, yeah? First time I've raced one of those. So, interesting to know, all right? Hades Omega owns a turbocharged car, all right? And and I know that when it gets cooler, you get more boost, your bike will go faster, all right? And that's the same thing with the supercharger, you know? It's more dense air, it's going to create more boost. So I knew, like, man, this guy's probably going to break out because the temperature dropped drastically. It must have dropped like 10 degrees within the hour, all right, from the last practice to the first race, all right? So I know, oh, this guy might break out, all right? That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking in my head. I'm like, yeah. Anyway, I line up on the left, and the H2SX lines up on the right. I dial in a 16.25, all right? All right. So here's what happens. I'm gonna tell you what happened, and I'll tell you the times. I twist the throttle, and it doesn't go. I'm like, what the freak? And then the bike has been running perfectly the last 3 runs, and then now you wanna, during the actual race, you wanna do this to me? yeah, man. So I shut the bike off, I turn it back on, twist it, nothing, shut the bike off, turn it on, oh, their bike goes on. It turns on, and then I give it throttle, and it goes. I was like, no, man, what happened? So, anyway, I got a decent reaction time. I got a .223, so I guess the bike had taken off a little bit, and then it died, alright? And then, I got a 12.374 60 foot, 330 foot was 17.236, my 1/8 was 20.994 at 63.07 miles an hour, and my 1,000 foot was a 24.549. Freaking nuts, right? 24, right? And the ET was 27.801 at 67.18 miles an hour. All right? But I won. Can you believe it? With a 20-second pass. 27-second pass. Okay, so here's what happened. Oh, yeah, the guy broke out. That's what happened. He dialed in, the H2 dialed in 11.55, and he ran an 11.416. So like I said, he broke out. That was my thing. I think he was gonna break out because he got cooler and he got more boost and his bike went faster, right? Turbocharged or you know, boosted vehicles react I know it's night and day difference, all right? In the daytime and you drive it at night and it's cool, it's a night and day. You can tell your car is faster at night. So I knew his bike was gonna be faster, and he probably might break out, and he did, all right? So that's how I won, all right? He had a pretty awful reaction time too, 1.223, all right? And I ran a 223. So I was like 1 second better than him. It's pretty good. But yeah, chances are if he didn't break out, he would have beat me because I had a big problem, man. Yeah. Okay. So that was the first. I got really lucky and I won my first race, all right? And then the second race comes along, and I'm racing against a Gixxer 600. I forgot his name. It was on a yellow Gixxer 600, all right? So I line up in the left. I line up in the left lane again. All right, I dial in 16.3, all right? Because that's what we dialed in last time, all right? 16. We dialed in 16.25 because I thought maybe we might go a little faster. Let's go conservative. All right, but yeah, the bike had problems last time, all right? So what did I do? I turned the power down. I turned it to 280 again, all right? I think what we're gonna have to do is just turn it to even lower than that. This battery just doesn't like that, man. Even though this BMS should be able to handle it, I don't know, man. I think something is up with this battery. I'm not, not too happy. It's not up to snuff. Anyway, so I dialed in a 16.3, all right? My reaction time was .123. Pretty good, all right? I twist it and the bike goes just fine, all right? It feels kind of slow, okay? But here we did a 60 foot as 2.522, 330 foot is 6.494, a 1/8 mile of 10.196 at 63.06 miles an hour, and the 1,000 foot was 13.775, okay? ET 17.027, all right? Pretty slow, but whatever. That's pretty slow. Yeah, that's like my slowest pass that I completed without any problems that night, all right? And at 67.15 miles an hour. I won, all right, guys? The dude on the Gixxer dialed in 1150 and he ran a 12.408. I heard a lot of people were spinning tires because the temperature went down so much, people's traction went down. And so this bike doesn't have a lot of weight and it doesn't have a lot of power. So I never have a problem spinning the tires on this bike. It just goes every time, all right? It's an advantage for me right now, okay? And everybody's bikes are getting faster too. That could be contributing also because the temperature goes down and you get more horsepower, right? Because more dense air, right? Same thing with the turbocharger, but it's not as great effect is what I want to say. Anyway, yeah, the dude was racing the 151 bike, and he got a 12.408, all right, and he ran he dialed in 1150, so that means he's almost a second off. Okay, yeah, so he's almost a second off his time, all right, like 0.9 seconds, almost. All right, and his reaction time was not as good as mine. He got a 0.468. So if you add that, it's almost like half a second. If you add that half a second to his 0.9, he's like 1.5 off his dial, all right? And so I ran 16.3 and I got 17 pretty much. So I ran dot 7 off my dial, all right? So I beat him immediately because he was dot 9. Plus his reaction time was worse, so I legit beat this guy, okay? So pretty happy here. Yeah, I beat someone. All right, not very good, but yeah. So third race rolls along, all right, and I'm up against Doug Love, all right. Doug Love, my drag racing senpai, all right. That's what I say. Yeah, he's one of those guys that, yeah, he's the guy that you know that you want to beat, all right. He's the guy to aim for because he's really good. So I had a chance to beat Doug. I'm not gonna lie, all right. I was on the left lane. All right, he said he didn't care what lane he was in. I was like, all right, I'll take the left lane. I dialed in a 16.9 because we ran a 17 last time. All right, so I'm thinking we're gonna run something like similar or slower. Okay, same power, 280 amps. All right, okay. So this is what happened, guys. I twist the throttle. Nothing happens. Nothing happens, guys. The bike doesn't go. It's so embarrassing. So I turn it off. I turn it back on. I think I had to do it twice again, and then it started going. All right. And so that cost me a reaction time of .972, okay? And my 60 foot was 9.569. My 330 foot was 13.829. My 1/8 mile was 17.585 at 62.79 miles an hour. And our 1,000 foot was 21.151. 21 seconds I crossed the finish line at, all right? Oh, no. We crossed the finish line. Our ET was 24.432 at 66.59 miles an hour, all right? Let's say, you know, you can't be off your game too much with Doug, all right? However, Doug didn't really do too good on the light, all right? He got a .433 on the light, and he dialed in a 13.28, and he ran a 13.544. He was about two tenths off, .2 off, and he was .4 off. So that's like a .6. If I ran what I ran last time, I probably wouldn't have beat him. But it would have been a really close race. That's all I'm gonna say. Okay, but yeah, man, it just the bike crapped out on me. Doug beat me by 7.8 seconds. All right. If Doug like spun, or if Doug made a major mistake, then maybe I could have got him. All right. So that was the end of my night. All right. I made it to the third round. I usually get eliminated in the first round. All right. Honestly, I was just there just to see what this bike can do on the drag strip. I was very happy with the first run, man. So I'm not gonna lie. I haven't drag raced for a long time. Like it's been since like the beginning of winter. All right. Yeah, it's like a whole season since I haven't been drag racing, and I felt like I was kind of sleeping at the light. You know, I was just waiting for the light to turn yellow. Light turns yellow. Let's go. Yeah, I felt like my reaction times were low, were not very good. They were slow. But I was, it was. Sometimes I got some pretty good reaction times. I got a .098 and a .123. It's pretty good. So you can do it, Merlin. You can do it. And I feel this throttle. Yeah, so this is kind of the AAR right now. Oh yeah, let me go over what happened the rest of the race. So I lost against Doug. Doug advanced, and he raced against Sean Baldo. All right, and then there was this new guy. Yeah, there was a new guy racing a ZX6R. Right, and so he got a bye run. So because he was the odd man out, and Sean beat Doug, all right, and it was a good race. It was really close. I got it on video. All right, here we go. There goes Doug. Final race. Doug and Sean. Oh,
boy. Good job,
Okay.
Sean.
And yeah, it was a really, really close race. I saw the times, and it was like a .02 seconds win or something. All right. You have to be, like I said, you have to be on your game to beat Doug, man. And you know, I had a good chance to beat Doug because his run wasn't actually that really good, man. But he did really good against Sean, and Sean beat him. So good job, Sean. He was riding a concourse. He was riding a concourse 1400, ZX14 or something, right? Concourse is a 1400 cc sport touring bike, and that was the first time he had raced that bike that night, and he beat Doug on it. Good job. Hats off to you, Sean. And then okay, and then the last race was Sean against the new guy in the ZX6R. All right. And yeah, he had some kind of traction thing on his bike, so I could hear it like skipping and stuff when he took off. But anyway, him and Sean raced, and Sean beat him. All right, I was rooting for Sean. I was like, you're not gonna let this new guy beat you. But the guy got second place. I couldn't believe it. I was like, man, he made it to the final on his first night. Lucky, beginner's luck is what I say. Beginner's luck.
It's Sean in the concourse versus a Gixxer 600. This is this dude's first time racing, and he made it to the finals. No way. All right, here we go. Come on, I'm rooting for Sean. Sean better win. Wow. I think Sean got him. Sean got him. Woo! Good job, Sean.
Yeah, he wasn't not too shabby, is what I'm gonna say. And then yeah, so Sean wound up taking home the first place trophy, and the new guy got the second place. And it was a good night. It was really cold. It was really cold. People were spinning tires all over the place, so people got eliminated left and right, is what I'm gonna say. Okay, so things that we could do to improve. All right, so how did the bike do? You know, the bike did pretty good until it got really cold. What I noticed is once the temperature dropped a whole lot, the bike started cutting out and everything. So I didn't like that, man. What the heck? I should have brought the other battery. I have a feeling that something is up with this battery, my bigger battery, the 21700 pack. I have another battery with the 18650 watt batteries in it, and that one seems to be in better shape. That's one of the Sony batteries. So I think this battery is like dying. I don't know why. It's the newer battery pack too. I really don't want to buy another freaking battery, you know. Yeah, man. But I think what we can do is we can try we should do one fast pass just to, you know, just to set some Suron records. All right. Hey, if anybody can do 15.8 on your Suron, you know, you're faster than me. Okay. All right. You're faster than my Suron. Me and my Suron. And yeah, so I'm really happy with the 15.8 run that we did. And then the rest of the nights we were doing 16 and 17s, all right, mostly 16s. So it's back to a 16-second bike. That's fine. I don't care for running 16 as long as it runs good. So now we know how fast it is. We can try to set some kind of speed records, but I would say the first run, just turn up the power all the way, and then the second and third run, try to get dialed in. All right. I'd like to keep this bike at least in the 16-second realm. You know, to tell you the truth, I spent $3,000 on this motor and this controller, and yeah, I would expect some better performance than that, all right? But we hit 70 miles an hour going over the line, so that's not too bad. My fastest time before with the BSC 4000 was 16.4, all right? And it just miraculously went fast, this will say, okay? I noticed this bike runs better when it's warmer, so maybe when the temperatures start going back up, it'll be okay. Yeah, I don't know what the deal is. Also, I did a couple pulls, practice pulls, and a couple of those pulls, the battery just crapped out. Like the BMS just cut power immediately. So I think we're pulling more power than the battery pack likes, is what I want to say. That should be able to, the battery should be able to handle 300 amps. It should be, but it's not. All right, so it's not at its peak performance anymore. I think it's like degraded. I just want to say, okay. But I did check the balance and everything looked good. You know, the top balance looked pretty good. So I don't know what the deal is with this battery, man. I should have brought my other battery to test it out also. So next time I will bring my other battery. Also, I did try to keep it topped off at 82 volts with the charger. I don't know. You know what? What I noticed is at lower voltages, it runs better. So I don't know what the deal is. I don't know what's cutting out like that. At lower voltages, it seems to be running better, in my opinion. Because when we're at the lower RPMs, it seems to be working fine. But yeah, so I had problems with the throttle cutting out on me, man. Again, I thought I fixed having a new controller and motor. You know, this KO Moto setup is not impressed me yet. It's not reliable, man. It's, in my opinion, it's just the same thing. And the last race that I did, I twisted throttle, nothing happened. You know. And I can't have that. It has to be reliable all the time, right? So what I think we're going to do is we're going to just turn the power down. We won't run more than 250. Like, you know, it's kind of pisses me off because I should be able to run this thing at the maximum power for a quarter mile. It's only a quarter mile. It's only just a little bit of, you know, I'm not twisting the throttle very long. 14, 15 seconds, something, 15, 16 seconds, something like that, you know? Not very long. That's all I'm asking from it. To be fast for 15, 16 seconds. But it should be faster than that, in my opinion, since I sink like $3,000 into this thing, man. It's just, for $3,000, I'm not, you know, I'm not that impressed with it yet, is what I want to say. Hopefully, yeah, hopefully it'll be better, is what I'm going to say. I will tell Ian about what happened, is what I want to say. But he said they're trying to release some kind of firmware that the bike doesn't cut out on the throttle like that. So he says he actually knew about that. So I don't know what to do, man. I think we're just gonna have to roll on really slow. That's not good for drag racing, all right? Now, you know what I do like about this KO motor controller? You can adjust the deadband of the throttle. I adjusted the deadband. I was doing 2% and 1%. Basically, once you crack that throttle open, it goes, all right? And I got a new throttle. I got that Domino throttle. I like it. It's pretty smooth. I think it's here to stay. I'm pretty happy with it so far. Just want to say after tonight. But yeah, I mean, the controller's been cutting out, or the battery's been cutting out. I don't know if it's the controller or the battery. I'm thinking it's the battery. So I think what we're gonna do from now on is just turn the power down. 21 kilowatts is too much for the battery to handle, or we need a better battery to do that. So I will keep it at 250. I think 250 should be fine. So from now on, we'll do 250 amps. We were doing 830 phase amps, so maybe we could turn that down a little bit also. All right. Yeah, I don't know what settings, you know, to really put, man, but it's dependent on your battery. It's dependent on your battery. So. I think the root of our problem is the battery. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, well, we'll just have to take it back to the track and try again. All right. Next time we'll do less power. We'll do 250 amps. All right. Maybe you can handle that. Okay. So I will be racing at Horse Thief Mile at Streets of Willow this weekend. So look forward to that. All right. We'll be taking this thing out on a legit track for the first time with the new setup, so you guys will be able to see what the KO Moto factory spec controller and motor can do on a racetrack, like a real one. All right, Force Thief Mile is like, it's a legit racetrack. Okay, but you can still race mini motos on it. It's kind of technical, is what I'm gonna say. Okay, so thanks for watching. Hopefully we can get this bike reliable. All right, that's all I ask for it. If it runs 16 seconds consistently, that's fine with me. All right, so I think we should try. Now that we know how fast it is, 15 seconds. I was hoping it would be a little faster, honestly. Well, we're gonna detune it down to like a 16, 17 second bike. All right, and anything to keep it reliable. So it gets really consistent launches. We're gonna keep that 1% deadband. I think that's good. All right, and we'll just have to get used to like no deadband. All right, but I know off-road I like less deadband too, because the bike doesn't do this front and back. Okay. Okay, so yeah, thanks for watching. That's the AAR for Wednesday Night Drags, April 5th, 2023.
Go! Oh my God! I feel the bike cutting out. Yeah, not good, guys. The bike, I can feel the bike cutting out, man. Go! Oh, what the hell, dude? That's the wrong tree! It's skipping a lot less. All right, go! Pretty fast! Woo! It seems like the max speed we're going to hit is 70 miles an hour. It doesn't really want to go any faster than that. Oh, what the hell? Oh, shit. Yeah. I lost. How embarrassing. I won! I don't know what happened. I think he broke out. I told you he'd break out. Okay. Go! Alright, we're good. Bike is running good. Oh, I won! I won! Alright, here we go. Okay, here we go. Go! Oh, the bike didn't go! Damn it! Ah, shit. Well, there goes Doug. Oh. Doug got me, man. So, hey guys, sorry. The bike cut out on me again on the line. It's really annoying, man.